To learn basic arithmetic operations that can be done in MATLAB. As we have started our MATLAB series, we will start with very fundamental to very deep, initially in programming, and then we will switch to Simulink. So without wasting time, let's begin. There are basic four type of arithmetic operation that we are well aware with: plus, minus, that means addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So let me show you that how you can do all these four operation using different variables in MATLAB, and then we are going to implement some of the more complex equations in MATLAB programming. So let's start with simple programming. So initially let me take a variable a which is equal to 8. So as I have entered, the value of a is stored in the matrix, and now we are going to implement another. Let's call it b. b is equal to 18. So value of b is also stored in form of matrix. Now we are going to do addition. So let's take c is equal to a plus b. Enter, and the answer c is equal to 26, right? So MATLAB understands that c is equal to a plus b. The value of a that has already been defined in workspace, b that also been defined and available in workspace. So from these two values MATLAB can calculate c. But now instead of capital A plus B, if I write this thing, c is equal to a plus b, then let's check what happens. It says undefined function a. So you need to keep in mind that MATLAB programming is case sensitive. There is difference between capital A and small a. So keep this thing in mind and then do it by yourself. Now just use this command clc and clear command window. Now we are going to do subtraction. d is equal to a minus b. It shows the answer 8 minus 18. If we do division, let's take e is equal to a divided by b. It shows 0.44. So this is how we can do division. Now let's go for multiplication. F is equal to a into b, and it shows 144. So all these simple fundamental mathematical operations, this is how we can do in MATLAB. But now what we are going to do, this is very simple and fundamental, but I have started this MATLAB series keeping in mind that you have no touch of this thing, MATLAB, or no touch of any programming, right? So doing all these things from very basics. Okay, so now we are going to implement some of the complex formulas or equation, a step ahead than simple mathematical operations. Let me show you that if I want to implement this equation, h is equal to 4 square minus 1 divided by under root 5. So this is the equation, or this is the formula which I want to implement in MATLAB. So keep this thing in mind, 4 square minus 1 divided by under root 5. So let me show you how we can implement this thing, right? Okay. So the formula was 4 square minus 1 divided by under root 5. So first of all we will implement h is equal to, we'll write 4 square, 4 raised to 2 minus 1. We'll place this thing into bracket, 4 square minus 1, this thing also in a bracket, divided by under root 5. Now when you want to implement under root, there is a special syntax for that, and that is sqrt. Sqrt square root of, so here we want to implement square root of 5. So square root of 5 and press enter. The answer is 6.7087. 4 square is 16, minus 1 is 15, and 15 divided by under root 5. Let's calculate that thing. Is the answer is correct or not? Under root 5 is 2.23. 15 divided by 2.23 gives us 6.72, and our answer is 6.708. So it's almost 6.1. So this minor difference, it's because of the number of digit we have taken, the accuracy that we have taken in calculator, that is different than this MATLAB. So the answer is correct. So this is the manner that how you can write equations and formulas, how to implement these formulas in the form of equation. For that you need to remember the law of BODMAS. So this is how you can implement these equations. So h is equal to 4 square minus 1 whole under root 5. Now we are going to implement something else. Let's assume a little bit more complex equation. I, instead of I and j, what we are going to use? K. Because I and j is used for complex number in MATLAB. So whenever you want to implement the variable I or j, you should not use I and j. Instead you use any other variable. You can use a1, a2, a3, any of the combinational number you can use, but avoid using I and j. So now we are going to write equation for k. K is equal to under root 4 square plus 2 into bracket 3 square plus under root 9. So this is I want to implement whole under root 4 square plus 2 into bracket 3 square plus under root 9 bracket over. This is what I want to implement. Now let's try to implement this thing. The simplest way is place bracket as much as you can, right? So we'll start with k. K is equal to, now what we want everything under root. The whole equation we want under root. So what we'll write sqrt, square root of everything, and in that square root of everything we want to implement 4 square. So it is 4 square, that's over, plus 2 into the bracket 3 square. So 3 raised to 2 plus, you should use this bracket 3 raised to 2 plus sqrt square root of 9, bracket over, this bracket over, and finally this bracket over. And once you write the answer, k is equal to 6.3246. Now what you need to do is you need to calculate this. You need to calculate this in calculator and verify with this k whether it is correct or not, and then write the answer in comment section below. If it is correct, then say yes, and if it is not correct, then say no. So I am waiting for your response. Now we are going for a little bit complex one, and we will implement it as L. So let's take this equation. L is equal to 3 multiply by under root 2 plus 1 divided by into bracket under root 4 minus 2 square raised to 2. So this is what we want to implement as L. See, why we are implementing this complex equations or this little bit trickier equations right now in this video? Because in upcoming videos, when we are going to implement big program or a script program, at that time this knowledge is required in that video. Or whenever you are programming in script or you are making long programs, at that time this fundamental knowledge is useful. So after watching this video, it is advisable for you to have some hands-on practice in MATLAB. And to have hands-on practice on MATLAB, I will provide you several equations to do this hands-on practice. So let's try to implement this thing. Until that time, let's keep this equation into your mind. Now we are going to implement this thing. L is equal to 3 multiply by, we will use two bracket. This first bracket is for denominator and numerator, and the second is for individual numerator. So we'll start writing SQRT square root of 2 plus 1. So the numerator is over. Now I'll go for denominator, divided by, we'll start equation for denominator 2, SQRT square root of 4 plus 2 bracket over and raised to 2 square of the new denominator and bracket over and press enter. So this is how you can calculate L. So this is the simple arithmetic logics, how you can implement this arithmetic equations into MATLAB. In next video, we are going to study exponential and logarithmic functions, how we can implement this exponential and logarithmic functions into MATLAB. But before that, there is few exercise for you. So I am writing this equation, I am displaying these equations to you. You need to implement those equations into MATLAB and then you need to tell me what is the answer. So first equation is x is equal to under root 4 square plus 9 plus under root 3 divided by 3 plus 8 square. Y is equal to 3 square plus 4 plus under root 15 divided by 9 square plus 3 by under root 2. So x and y, you need to calculate these two things, implement in MATLAB, find what is the answer